What's going on, guys? Good to be back with you. Today, we are going to talk about a fragrance that is inspired by another fragrance from the house of Xerjoff. Can you guess what it is? Don't cheat and look at that title. We'll be back in a moment. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. Hey, let's get right into it, guys. Sometimes, I got a little rant or something for you, but to y'all's enjoyment tonight, we're going to get straight to it. This fragrance is from the house of Haramain Perfumes, and it is Amber Oud Gold Edition. We're doing a sample test today. I did not wind up buying this fragrance, but that's okay. There are fragrances that aren't necessarily for me that could potentially be great for you guys. So we're going to review this, do our due diligence, and I'm actually going to put a significant amount of juice on this test strip because I want to smell this up close and personal. I think we're in the realm of fruity, vanilla, and amber unisex fragrance. This is cloning apparently Xerjoff's Herba Pura, which is a unisex fragrance. Again, fruitiness vibes, vanilla vibes, and amber in a nutshell. I'm going to wave on this a little bit. The House of Haramain typically holds it down with a lot of good fragrance clones. I believe they have a good Bleu de Chanel clone. I believe they have a good Oud Satin Mood. I don't have a ton of Haramain, but I do have a couple of them, and from what I can tell so far, they're pretty quality. They're not the cheapest clone house. I think their fragrances typically run somewhere between 25 and 40, maybe even $50. I think 25 and 40-ish dollars, depending on what kind of deals you get and where you get the fragrance. I know they do come out on deals, and I've seen them on TikTok Shop and whatnot, but I believe it's around $25 to $40 depending on the fragrance, maybe even 50 on some of their heavy hitters. I do not have Xerjoff here to compare, so I do want to tell you guys that. Skip the video if you're looking for somebody who's actually got Xerjoff right next to it. But what I can absolutely tell you without a doubt is this a quality fragrance? Is this something you should put your nose on? Is it something that, based on the affordability, projection, and longevity, sillage scent trail, quality, etc., does it strike me as something that could be very valuable to your collection? Let's take a look. This fragrance, I'm going to put a little bit of it on skin. This fragrance is very sweet. It almost, if you close your eyes, it can almost come off as like a very, my wife uses these very expensive shampoos and conditioners, that are crazy expensive. And this strikes me as one of those fragrances that is like a very expensive smelling girl shampoo that's so light that it borders being unisex, but is still very clearly feminine leaning. But it's not cheap girl shampoo. Like, it's not all the way quite there. It's a little bit more quality than like a sweet body spray or body mist. More cologne-y than that. It doesn't, even though it's reminiscent of it based off the profile, the quality is there, the potency is there. This strikes me as a fragrance that has serious longevity. Maybe an 8 out of 10 on the beast mode scale. Even though it's beast mode, it has a softness to it due to what I feel is going to be a floral note. I'm not quite sure. It's fresh. It's airy. It's sweet, almost in the realm of like a very light watermelon with a touch of candy sweetness. Yeah, it's almost got a distinct, very light, crisp, airy watermelon note, but it's nothing like Club de Nuit Milestone, and it's nothing like Nitro Red. It's almost this kind of very light body mist, light watermelon freshness. Very It's very potent in there, but it does have like a fresh, airy lightness to it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the window here, so we can see the fragrance. Gold bottle here, and we're gonna look at Xerjoff in a second. But for now, with this fragrance, we have bergamot and green notes up top. I don't get the green, but I do get the lightest, faintest touch of bergamot. We have sweet notes, candied sweet, and I'm certainly getting like a great dose of that, like 30% at least. Melon, that's what I get. That's what I get. It's kind of this candy, sugary, sweet, light airiness, almost borderlining watermelon, but the touch of cantaloupe because it's a little bit more dense and rich. Um, Pineapple can be up in the mix, but it's not a distinct player. Amber, I certainly get a warmth to it, especially on skin. Musk and vanilla and woody notes in the base. I'm going to be honest, I don't get a ton of woods. The vanilla is very fresh and light. It's not powdery and heavy. Musk I don't really get as well. So the dominant players here is bergamot, sweet notes, melon, amber, vanilla. Tiniest touch of vanilla. And if I was to give it a distribution, I would say something like 5% bergamot, 40% sweet notes, 40% melon, and then just like maybe a 10-20% of amber and vanilla. I know that wasn't quite 100%, but just to give you an idea of what are the dominant players. Sweet and melon are dominant. However, the characteristics of them is airy, soft, potently there, but airy and soft and almost floral in a touch. Maybe that's that green note in there, but I'm not really smelling it as green. It's just kind of freshening up that candy and that sweetness. Again, I think that this is, let's check Xerjoff. We've got orange and bergamot and lemon up top, fruits in the mid, vanilla and amber in the base. So pretty close profile. Maybe the other fragrance might be a little more orangey, but it certainly, I think, would still lean kind of feminine. But I do think a male could wear this. It would just be questionable. I think younger men could get away with this on a fresh day. Not a date, not a semi-formal through formal fragrance. This is a casual, fresh, errand running fragrance. And if younger males are wearing it, you might be able to pull it off going to school, but it's not sweet in a manly way. It's sweet in a very body mist, floral, airy, crispy way. So I would typically tell men to shy away from a fragrance like this, because it's the type of sweet that, though it's airy and crisp, it's very dominant. It's close to beast mode, so you're not going to be able to wear it lightly. You're always going to come off dominantly sweet, even though it's light, airy, and fresh. But, to each his own. It is marketed as a unisex fragrance. But my 2 cents is that men should kind of shy away from this, I guess. You could probably get a female body mist for $5 to $10 that gets you 80% of the way in the door of this. On a woman, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's a very nice fragrance. I'm curious though, do a lot of men like Herba Pura? Very curious about that. It's always interesting to see what unisex fragrances we allow and don't allow into our collection. And you guys know how I feel about sweet. So obviously a dominantly sweet fragrance that's unisex might not make my collection. The only thing really softening this up to be masculine is maybe amber and musk, which I don't really get a lot of musk. The green is not really there either. So you're just left with vanilla, fruits, and some citrus. But it is a pretty fragrance. Notice I said pretty. Men, you don't want to smell pretty. Yeah, how much is this fragrance? I'm seeing it for around the $34 marker on Joma Shop. I see this fragrance going for as high as $50 for 100 ml on Joma. I got to imagine you could probably get it closer to 30-40 bucks for 100 ml. There are testers out there available as well. So if you want to put your nose on it, it is a great fragrance. I'm very hard pressed to say a man would smell good with this. You'd be risking it all wearing it, I think. So a little above normal on the affordability scale. It's not really wowing me enough to be a $35 to $40 fragrance, but it is quality. It doesn't smell synthetic. It's sweet. It's a sweeter fragrance. Accuracy to the OG, not quite sure, but this definitely seems like it's probably quite close. I'm sure Xerjoff just took it a notch forward with the detail in the layering. I'm hoping, based off how quality Xerjoff is typically, that they took it slightly beyond smelling like a good, expensive shampoo and kind of took it more classier, making it more convincing as a female fragrance. But again, if a female was wearing this, I'd be all over it. It smells great. But for a man, I almost need to go get the sample of this. I'm interested to see if the sample would produce a more neutral gender type of vibe for me. But projection and longevity, 8 out of 10. This is going to have serious scent bubbles, scent trail, sillage, etc. This is a fresh fragrance that I think could work in both weathers. Probably shines more in your slightly cold to very cold weathers, but it is fresh. So I think in some heat, you could pull it off. You could pull it off in some heat. Not a lot of heat, but on a warm, sunny day, you could certainly still pull off the freshness of this. It'll just be a lot warmer on skin. And again, I think the occasion is below. It is simply casual. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Do any of you men out there rock this? And it's so funny. Sometimes people in my comments will talk about a fragrance so much as if they own it, but they don't even own it or wear it. They've just smelt it before. Tell me if you actually own the fragrance and wear it. And if you do, what are the occasions and circumstances for you to wear it? And do you think it does come off, just as much masculine as feminine? Anyways, I hope you guys loved the video. Like, comment, and subscribe as usual. Contribute to the conversation of fragrance. Jump in that comment section. Hopefully I've earned a subscription from you. If you are new, we have episodes dropping every single day. Again, this is the Scent Bubble. I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed week, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.